Picture this. You're 21, it's Saturday night, and you're at a club. You're not really a club guy. You'd rather be gaming or watching a movie. But your buddy dragged you out, said you needed to get over your ex. So here you are, nursing a warm beer. Then a girl approaches you. She's stunning, confident, the kind of energy that makes the strobe lights seem dim. She leans in, says something you can't quite hear over the music, but her smile says everything. Your buddy nudges you, eyebrows raised. You buy her a drink. You dance. You end up talking outside, and she's funny, sharp, the kind of instant chemistry that makes you forget you have a 9 a.m. lecture. When the club kicks everyone out, she grabs your hand and says, "Your place or mine?" You end up at hers. Things escalate fast. You don't have a condom. You pause for half a second. She says, "I'm on the pill, it's fine." You think, just this once, what's the worst that could happen? You leave in the morning, walking home feeling like you just unlocked a new level of adulthood. 8 years later, you end up at a hospital. The doctor runs tests, says your CD4 count is 51. A healthy person has between 500 and 1,600. Below 200 is AIDS. You're at 51. You're sitting there, staring at a poster about flu shots, while your entire future collapses to a single number. You didn't feel a thing that night. Not the virus entering your bloodstream. Not the war about to start inside you. HIV doesn't announce itself. It slips in through mucous membranes, finds a CD4 cell, one of your immune system's generals, and hijacks it. Turns it into a factory that makes more copies of itself. Then those copies find more generals. And the cycle begins. About 2 to 4 weeks after infection, some people get a flu. Fever, swollen glands, a rash. It lasts maybe 2 weeks, then vanishes. Maybe you had that. Maybe you thought nothing of it. By Monday, you'd already forgotten. That's the first cruel joke. The virus isn't gone. It's embedding itself into your DNA, quietly recruiting, while your body goes back to feeling fine. For the next 8 years, you live a normal life. College, that corporate job, a few relationships, breakups, late nights, weekends where you sleep until noon because you're tired. You felt fine, mostly. That's the second cruel joke. HIV doesn't need you to feel sick. It just needs time. Every day, it kills thousands of CD4 cells. Your body fights back, producing new ones. But it's a losing war. The battlefield is invisible. The casualty count is a number on a lab slip you haven't asked for yet. And then your body starts sending smoke signals. You're 29. Lately, you've been exhausted in a way coffee doesn't touch. You've lost 15 pounds without trying. At first, you joked it was the stress diet, but your ribs are starting to show. Then there's cough, a dry, relentless bark that keeps you awake at 3 a.m. You finally see a doctor, half expecting allergies, maybe burnout. The doctor comes back with a face like a sealed envelope. She says HIV positive, then severely low CD4 count, then AIDS. Your CD4 count is 51. You probably contracted it that night. 8 years ago. That girl, that pause, that, just this once. Here's what that number means. You don't have a cold. You don't have cancer. You have no army. A few weeks after diagnosis, the cough gets worse. Not a cold cough. A wet, rattling thing that tastes like metal. You go back to the hospital. They say pneumocystis pneumonia, PCP. There's a fungus in the air everywhere. On bus seats, in office ventilation, on your pillow. A healthy immune system clears it before you notice. Your immune system has a CD4 count of 51. It doesn't clear anything anymore. The fungus fills your lungs' air sacs like wet sand. Walking to the bathroom leaves you gasping. Then you need oxygen to sit up. Then you need oxygen to exist. You're drowning over weeks, not minutes. Every breath is a negotiation. Every night you wonder if you'll wake up. This is how most people died of AIDS in the 80s and 90s. Not dramatically. Not with last words. Just a slow, suffocating fade in a hospital bed, while a machine beeps. Then you see the first spot. On your forearm. Purple, flat, doesn't hurt. You think it's a bruise. It doesn't go away. More spots appear. Your doctor says Kaposi's sarcoma, cancer of the blood vessel walls. Here's what they don't tell you about KS. The spots on your skin are just the advertisements. The real damage is inside. Lesions grow in your lungs. You start coughing up blood. Lesions in your throat. Swallowing becomes agony. Lesions in your liver. Your abdomen swells like you're pregnant with something that's killing you. You're 29. You look 60. The lesions on your skin are the least of your problems. But they're the ones everyone sees. And they don't look away. You eat. You eat more. You eat until you're full, then keep eating. Your weight still drops. 10 pounds. 20. 40. Your intestines have stopped absorbing nutrients. Cryptosporidium, MAC, or maybe just HIV itself. Doesn't matter which. Your body is burning muscle for fuel now. Your arms look like someone else's arms. Your face caves in. Your collarbones stick out like coat hangers. You can feel your own skeleton when you lie down. Your hip bones press into the mattress. Your spine is a ridge you can trace with your fingers. People look away when you walk down the street. Not because they're cruel, because they don't know what to say to a ghost who's still standing. Then you start forgetting things. Where you put your keys, why you walked into the kitchen, your partner's name. You laugh it off at first, senior moment at 30. Then you have a seizure on the kitchen floor. Toxoplasmosis, a parasite that lives in cat feces and undercooked meat. In a healthy person, it sits dormant in the brain for life, doing nothing. In your brain, with no immune system, it wakes up. It starts eating. You try to speak. The words come out wrong. Water becomes something that isn't a word. You know what you meant to say. Your mouth won't cooperate. This is HIV-associated dementia. Your brain is becoming Swiss cheese. You're still in there, somewhere, but you're disappearing piece by piece. Your personality, your memories, the jokes you used to tell, the way you laughed, gone. The body dies slowly. The mind dies first. You're in a hospital bed now. Morphine drip. The year is, you're not sure anymore. Time stopped mattering. In 1985, when this story was still happening to thousands of people, your family would visit wearing gloves and masks. They'd stand 6 feet from the bed. Some hospitals used plastic curtains. Nurses left trays outside the door. Not because they were monsters. Because they were terrified. And because nobody knew yet that you couldn't catch AIDS from a tear or a handshake. You're too tired to care about any of that. Your breathing is shallow, 6 breaths a minute. Your skin is yellow. Your liver is failing. You're not hungry. You haven't eaten in days. Your body has stopped asking. One morning, you don't wake up. No final words. No cinematic gasp. Just a bed that needs changing, and a chart that gets stamped. Your buddy, the one who dragged you to that club, he gets a call. He doesn't answer. He already knows. He's been waiting for it for months. Here's the thing. The death you just lived through, that's a museum piece now. 1985 to 1995. Before the drug cocktails. Before HAART. Before undetectable equals untransmittable. Today, HIV is not a death sentence. 1 pill a day. Get tested regularly. If you're positive, you can live a normal lifespan. You can have kids. You can grow old. You can die of something stupid like a heart attack like everyone else. But 630,000 people still died of AIDS in 2022 because they didn't have access to that pill, because they didn't know their status, because stigma still keeps people from getting tested. You had one night, one pause, just this once. That's all it takes. So here's my ask. Get tested. Know your number. And if you're old enough to remember the 80s, when people died alone behind plastic curtains, call someone who lived through it. Tell them you're glad they're still here, because they almost weren't.